Hi, my name is Cheryl Gill. I have the enviable position of being the single parent on the Clover Park School District Math Curriculum Committee of WTM.
At least you have one.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It sounds like I just have to tell them we need to switch math expressions and ditch bridges, so we're looking at mathematics and math expressions for our elementary kids. I have two questions. One, for running a pilot program, what is a recommended time frame for allowing teachers a chance to look at it? Because in case at the meeting tomorrow when I come up and say, hey, I really think we need to look at math expressions, we may try to pilot all three from November to May. So I'm curious what your recommendations are and how long you should really pilot a math program within the district to see how it goes. And two, if there is an adoption of a standard within a coalition of states, which sounds like a great way to go, would that change what we would want for curriculum? Or the curriculum, the top two, would we be adequately prepared to meet the new standards?
It depends on how much money your district has. Most districts don't have the time and the money to do a particularly good job of doing a test run to multi-curriculum. Quite frankly, I think that you learn a lot by looking to other districts that have already done a 6-month-long test run in a few schools. I think the most important thing on doing a test run on a curriculum is that you give it a fair shot. So you don't hand it out to all of the teachers and say, here's what you're going to test, here's what you're going to test. Get some true believers on either side and let's see how it works.
Right, it's a volunteer basis right now.
Yeah.
All the teachers who want to.
But it's definitely something where at a state level we are not exactly optimized. And for anybody but the top 10 or 20 districts, we don't have the scale to do pilots properly. You're sort of stuck with where things are going. It's one of the hopeful things about what Ross is talking about, standardizing curricula across the state, is that we can all learn from a single, uniform set of tests, figure out which ones work, and you will rapidly get propagation of things that work across the state without every district having to pay their own dollars to do it again.
Priscilla Lewis, and I am a parent on the math achievement team in the Shoreline School District. I'm also a teacher. My question is regarding the high school IMR, or the instructional materials review, and I was wondering why the IMR would be happening for, I think it's 1 week during this school year, because our high school math department chair did not feel like he could take that amount of time away from his classroom, therefore he did not apply. It's very discouraging since I have kids that are heading to high school next year. So I was wondering about that, and then in light of that, who would be serving on that committee looking at those materials review, and would there be any mathematicians on the committee?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just guessing as to why OSBI waited until now, but I think partly it was they wanted to do K-5 and middle school first, and getting that process completed took a while, and so the natural follow-on then, of course, was high school, and ideally that'll be done before the next academic year.
It's because of the law. So we have 6 months to make those recommendations after the standards were adopted, and the K-8 standards were adopted on April 28th, which means we had until October 28th to complete the recommendations for K-8. These standards for high school were adopted on July 30th, which means we have 6 months by law to meet the expectations that were given by the legislature. So that gives us until January 30th. So in order to meet the law, we have no other option.
Concerned. I mean, we have teachers on Where's the Math that aren't willing. If you're a good teacher, you really don't want to leave your kids over a week with somebody else because you know that you're going to be reteaching those things.
The odds are that you will have a large number of curricular specialists at the district level, and whether that is a pro or a con is an individual point of view.
It's a con.
But
Any mathematicians?
In terms of mathematicians, I'm not aware that mathematicians have been added to the review for the high school level. I anticipate that we will have the same structure that happened last time. There will be a secondary review by strategic teaching. They only included one mathematician in the first round. I, among others, would like to see more than one mathematician involved. And we really would prefer to see it done in reverse order. going to pass the mathematicians first. But this is something where we're learning. This is something for our legislators. I'm hoping that this isn't a process where we're doing it ad hoc once, and then next generation, our kids will have to figure out it again. I'm hoping we can figure out a way to do this better and do it on a rolling basis. A very positive thing that Ross said was to say our standards can improve. That implies that there will be a review process and we'll revisit these on a regular basis. We really can do a better job. We've got a constant improvement system for every school in the state. We need a constant improvement system for our standards as well.
I suggested on the state board math panel that they looked at the California process, because basically if you can look at what California did was they put 12 mathematicians on there to basically, they did a two-tier process where the first round, all the curricula that were being presented went through and to see if it was mathematically sound. And then once if it passed that bar, then it went to the teachers to actually look for the materials.
Suggested math specialists, using math specialists in the elementary schools.
The National Math Panel.
Other than the National Math Panel, are we thinking about doing that in Washington State? Not just math coaches, but
No,
math.
I would say rather than.
Rather than, yeah, okay.
Who have a math background and degree.
Exactly, who have their degrees in mathematics, who are also elementary school educators, who either take the elementary school math courses, or at least coach the teachers in the school.
You can have teachers that have that background and education and everything, and don't make a good teacher or don't make a good math teacher.
Oh, okay, well, before we get into dialogue, one of the challenges we have, overall in the state of Washington, we're about 800 math teachers short for the way we do things now. That is particularly significant at the elementary school level. There's a real dearth of, quote, math expertise for the people coming into that. We're having a lot of trouble finding people just for the middle school and high school spots. So this question becomes, how do we transition somebody to be a math specialist to that elementary? It's a good idea. But the two issues that we have challenges is, one, the talent pool, and two, there is the local curriculum mixed in approach. Now, the state board's Core 24 curriculum approach will allow some extended time frames in the middle school and the high school frames to deal with those issues. That has not been dealt with at the elementary school level per se. Math coaches are floaters around, but there's not a specific policy at the state level for math specialists in elementary school. We get very hesitant about mandating some of those things. We may set a range of where school districts can apply state funds that come in. Ultimately, where those funds are applied is a local school board decision that's also influenced by collective bargaining. So it's a good idea. It probably needs to happen to sort of reinvigorate and reinforce elementary school teachers. Getting there is not just, we're going to pick these people off the street, put them